Hey YouTube, today we're going to be talking about my very first convention as an artist. We'll be going over prep, what items I brought, thought process before, during, after, and of course, expenses and profit. And if you haven't met me yet, I go by Clara on here, and I'm the writer and artist for a graphic novel and webcomic, Beyond the Stillwall. I also run an online shop and just started dabbling in conventions this year. Being new to content filming, I got too anxious to record most of what I will be talking about. I'm sorry. Self-doubt and overthinking won this round, but I'll push myself to be a better recorder going forward. I do have some bits of content, but for this video, we can watch me work on my business logo. I thought Azera was a good fit, since she's one of the main characters in my current story, and seemed like a proper face to advertise my work in dark fantasy story Beyond the Stillwall. Alright, let's get down to it. So the very first convention of the year I got accepted to was Reading Anime in Redding, California. I live in Northern California, so to have a convention under an hour away is amazing. Most conventions in California are in the Bay Area or deep south around Los Angeles. Those range an easy 3+ hour drive or 9 hours, which I don't think I hate myself that much to drive to. The temptation of spending 8 to 10 hours to drive that long to save money on flight is tempting. But we must also consider gas, food, water, wear and tear on the car, and your personal energy and sanity. While a long drive is cheap, those other things come into play, especially time. I've bargained with myself that if a convention is worth flying to, instead of spending 8+ hours driving, I will use those 8 hours to create a new product instead. I will aim for the long game and trust the process that the creation of the new product will cancel out the cost of the flight and time. At least, that is what I tell myself. That ramble out of the way. So, I got accepted to Reading Anime. It's a small convention. I don't really have knowledge on where exactly it sits in terms of size. With it being my very first convention, and a local cozy one, I decided on 0 expectations. I wasn't planning on making profit. I wasn't banking on making table back. I wanted to go there to learn, experience the environment, and get my toes wet of what a convention is like. I have over 15 years of cashier's experience, and I also love using the market's auction houses on MMOs, so running a little table shouldn't be too bad, right? I had been spending the previous year researching what I could, watching other artists on YouTube go to conventions, what they've learned, how they set up their displays and tables, what products they made. I also had been lurking on Artist Alley Network, absorbing the same information from a bunch of very seasoned, kind folks. So I bought grid cubes, panel cubes, a tiered acrylic nail polish display to hold my small prints and stickers. I bought square cardstock paper and printed my display panels. They would be a display menu for my stickers and also signage for my products. Said and done, my display looked like this. Not bad, not great. I thought I had a decent amount of stock to display. Oh boy, how I was wrong. I had separated my special stickers, holographic glow-in-the-dark, on a separate display panel from my regular stickers. I think it made my display look more empty and sparse. A lesson learned. Until I have enough stickers, I'll probably do best with more simplified displays. Though, I was very proud of my display theme and colors. One thing I learned was signs, signs, signs. Think you have enough signage? Wrong. I thought I had enough when I started. Looking back on this, I can see and feel how not enough signage I actually had. Another reflection on my display is the acrylic display that I covered in black velvet paper. Looks so nice. The display had all my mini prints, stickers, and little coin pouches smashed in there. While it held everything, I believe it confused the attendees a bit, as some mixed up the small Gojo print and holographic sticker as vice versa. Prints. I had some prints. They were okay, as they were just illustrations I thought were good, cool enough to bring to the convention, but in hindsight I realized they were never designed as a print. Most were just still images or busts I had doodled out. The skeleton is a panel from my comic though, and the only true drawn for an illustration is my Gojo print and sticker. I had never taken the time to think what makes an illustration print, as I never really dabbled into it. I researched that it needs to evoke emotion or a response, and it needs to fit the answer, would you put this on your wall? I believe that helped unlock the aha part of the art in me that I'm still dusting off after 10 to 15 years of not using it. It also inspired me to want to fill up those blank areas, to want to have the print wall behind me. What I learned about my display. Consolidate, improve my sticker display. More, better signage. Move my stickers and mini prints into separate displays. Adjust my setup. And going forward, with the things listed above, I wanted to add 2 boxes to the center, then add slanted displays to the front to show off the products with clean signage. Though I bet some of you are wondering, how was Anime Reading? How were the vibes, the people? The attendees were very pleasant. I did not have one rude person at my table. Everyone seemed to be having a pretty good time. I saw a lot of cosplay. I loved seeing all the different kinds, from store-bought to handmade, and there were some very good handmade ones. The vendors themselves were all very nice, and there were even folks who traveled to this event. All of my table neighbors next to me and across were all super kind. I had a lot of fun talking and visiting with them when I could. I wish I could have spent more time admiring their artwork, but I was so focused on making sure my first convention was going well that I spent most of it at my table. To my left was Blair Bat's table. They were very fun to talk to and had some wonderful art. It was also cool to see what a seasoned artist table looks like. I can't wait to branch into acrylics and enamels myself. To my right were three of the special guests, Kenny Aitken, Chris Marinan, and Walden Wong. Kenny was very kind and let me dash out for quick bathroom breaks. A real lifesaver when you're doing con solo. I also got to chat with him a bit and bought his first volume of his book, Capex. Even has a shiny signature. I got to chat with Chris Marinan. I was later told that he did work on the original Catwoman, which is awesome. He even had some of his original ink pages for display on his desk. The only one I didn't get to chat with was Walden Wong. He seemed very busy during the convention, and when there were small lulls, he was walking around and interviewing folks. Across from me, I did a sticker trade with Cosmically Haley. She has some good illustrative pictures as well. Another table I didn't get to look as much as I'd like. I picked this cute girl that is apparently from Genshin Impact. You remind me of the Bong Guns and Moonax from Ragnarok Online. I looked up the attire and found out they are called Jiangxi, or Chinese hopping vampire. I'll have to read up more on that as I love folklore around the world. I also got to speak to Miriam Yvette, who is an author and an artist. She has a few completed books and gave me her first one, The Hunted Prince. My husband quickly finished that book, so I definitely had to order the second one, The Gray-Haired Princess. He's enjoying the series, and I look forward to reading it too. My ADHD makes it tricky to read books sometimes. I currently have about 7 books from 2023 that I have yet to complete, but that is a rant for another time. I even got to listen to Chris Rager and Josh Martin voice acting all day. It was a real treat to listen to Hercules call himself the champion and to hear Boo give his maniacal laugh. And if you want to know, yes, he does stick out his tongue like Boo when he laughs. I grew up on Toonami's Dragon Ball Z, so hearing the English cast was very nostalgic and amazing. And on a final note, of all the people at the Reading Anime, I definitely want to give a shout out to Chris Monday, the organizer of the event. I wasn't sure what to expect when I first started looking for conventions near me, but he has been super kind, very responsive and informative, and during the event he would walk around checking on all the vendors, making sure everything was going well and if we were doing well. I loved the event and I hope I can attend it again. Here's the part y'all are all probably itching for. Baby convention artist at her first convention. How did I do? How much did it cost? How much did I make? First and foremost, I'm going to exclude the initial cost of display because for the most part that is paid for and done and I can reuse it and evolve it over and over. I will also not worry about cost of making the products because that feels like too much detail. Just keep in mind there's always a cost to create these products. So, the initial table fee is $120 for a 6-foot table. This convention was very local, so gas wasn't even a factor. Which also means I was close enough to drive home to sleep, so no hotel costs. I was dumb and only brought snacks for the 2 days. I was way too nervous to eat or worried about mess. So I got a 6-pack of small Gatorades for electrolytes, a dark chocolate bar for some caffeine, and salted cashews. I'll probably try to improve my snack choices for the next time. All said and done, my expenses were around $162. So did I make back table? Yes. I shockingly made about $275 in sales over the weekend with my piddly little stock. I wasn't expecting to make table back, but I did. I also wasn't expecting my original art or graphic novel products to move, but Azul was a favorite from my original art. I mean, who doesn't love that smug expression? But don't forget there's taxes that come out of that, so my net's smaller than what you see in the green, but I'll mark this as a success. I learned a lot, met a bunch of awesome people, and want to make more fun goodies for the next convention and push myself to improve myself for Viable. I have LoboCon coming up on April 27th, so if you want to see me prepare and record that process, be sure to stick around for more. Below, I will have all the links to the lovely people I mentioned, as well as links to what I used for my display that you saw earlier in here. They're affiliate links, so if you find out you are interested in the product and get it, I get a little commission at no cost to you, and it helps support my channel and keep the lights on. I also have a Patreon and my art shop, if that's more your style. It lets me support my family as well as continue to make content for you fine folks. If you liked the video and want to see more, be sure to like, subscribe, and check out the folks below. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.